not murder. This is free country.
Yeah, well, you should have remembered that before you go around attacking citizens.
Angreifen? Ich habe ihn geschlagen. War ein Nazi. Nazi!
Now, you just stop that. If you're going to insult me, do it in English.
It's not you. He was Nazi.
Yeah, well, just make up your bed. The governor will see you after lunch.
I agree they're due for a rise, but I think 30% is a fair figure to aim for, don't you?
And what if the women won't compromise? Will the department pay up?
Yes. But you have to realize that what the department gives with one hand, it takes away with the other. I don't want to see that happen. If the women agree to 30%, I feel quite sure all their demands will be met.
You have to kill Bobby before she kills you.
Kill Bobby.
You off your food?
No, I'm worried about Reb.
Yeah. Bloody amazing, isn't it? We set out to do the big job on her, and now we sit here wondering whether she's going to pull through or not.
But it shouldn't have happened. Coke shouldn't have affected her that way. It must have been spiked.
Well, if it was, somebody else would have copped it, so just as well it was Reb, I reckon.
Maybe. And where's Pixie and Bobby?
I don't know. They say anything to you, Cass?
Bobby won't be needing lunch.
What's that supposed to mean? She loves her Tucker. What the hell's wrong with everybody?
They could be just at second sitting.
Yes, but everyone's acting strange.
You on about Phyllis again?
Yeah, you bet I am.
Watch this. Could I have the pepper?
Take it easy, Jude. You only have to ask.
See what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a point. I must admit Mrs. Morris has been acting very strangely.
Mrs. Powquick. She's like...
Bobby, what's the matter, love? What's happened?
Oh, Myra, it's awful. Someone's tried to kill Pixie. It's unreal.
Continued notes on subject number 3, Margaret Morris. This case is working better than expected. I must take all necessary steps to ensure that I'm not held responsible for her dramatic personality reversal. It is now time to remove all post-hypnotic suggestions from the subject's memory.
What are you doing in here, Goldsmith?
Bitte?
It's mealtime. Should be in dining room with the other women. Well?
I have not understanding.
You better start getting some. And quick. Now, you, dining room, eat. Eat now.
Thank you. I do not wish to eat.
You've missed one sitting already, and there are only 2.
I have no hunger. Women frightened.
Please yourself. If you want to starve, that's your business.
Just doesn't make any sense. Why,
Stop
Pixie?
worrying,
Why?
Jude. She'll be all right.
Who could do a thing like that
Jude,
to
she's
her?
going to be all right.
How do you know that? Who told you, Sister Kelly? Bobby, are you sure?
Dude, she's gonna be all right, honest. She was already coming around when I found her.
You sure she just didn't faint?
I told her she still had the cord around her neck.
Oh.
Gee, Cass has taken it hard.
Hey, come on, Cass. One do merchants enough. She'll be all right, you'll see.
I've got to see Doc Edmonds. I've got to see him. Hey, Mrs. Morris, I've got to see Doc Edmonds.
Well, what seems to be the trouble?
Yeah, well, it's urgent, please.
All right, I'll just see if he's free. You better come too, Bobby. The police will have to see you.
You feeling any better, Mason?
Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine.
You, do realize somebody tried to strangle you, don't you?
Well, I don't know what happened.
You were found with an electric jug cord around your neck.
Oh.
Who attacked you, Mason?
I have no idea.
You didn't see anyone?
No.
I thought you got along pretty well with all the women. Can you think of anyone who might want to hurt you?
No.
For the course, I suppose. Mind you, I don't know how you expect us to help you.
Well, Mrs. Powell, I've heard that strangulation can cause brain damage. Well, you don't think...
No. Don't think you've got anything to worry about.
You think you might have hurt Pixie by mistake? Could you have meant to hurt someone else?
I told you I can't remember.
It's all right, Cass. It's all right. Now, come on. Sit back and relax. And breathe deeply. That's it. Good. Now relax and breathe deeply. Very deeply. Good. Now close your eyes when they feel heavy. Follow every breath deep down inside your body. You can feel yourself sinking. Deeper. Deeper. Deeper.
How Bobby's doing with the cops?
She'll be all right. It's Cass I'm worried about.
She's upset, all right. It's one of Cass's big problems. She worries about everybody.
You ask me, Parker's just trying to get the shrink on the couch.
Well, no one is asking you, so why don't you just keep your big mouth shut?
You going to stand for that, Alice?
Of course she is. Aren't you, Alice? Toey, aren't you?
Yes, I am Toey. Now, as the crack is doing something wrong to Cass, I know it.
Well, no, Jude, it's not like that. He's not the usual sort of a quack. I don't think he really cares.
No way. There is no way that she would have behaved the way she did before that treatment.
Well, I don't know about that, but well, look at me. I've been feeling real good about myself since I've been going to him.
Yeah, I'll bet you have. What does he do in these sessions?
Not what you think. We talk.
Okay, you know so much. Who hurt Pixie? Now, that girl hasn't got an enemy in this world.
That time we heard how she was doing, too.
Oh, no way. We're only her friends. They wouldn't tell us that.
Well, if something had happened to her, we would have heard on the grapevine by now. Look, I know she's a bit of a nutcase, but she's good for a laugh. And I wouldn't like to see her turn her toes up.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I find out who did hurt Pixie, they're going to have to answer to me. And that is not going to be any laughing matter.
You did not attack Pixie. You were nowhere near her when she was attacked. You were in the toilet block. Where were you?
In the toilet block.
Pixie is your friend, Cass. Your good friend. You only have one real enemy. And that's Bobby. Who is your enemy, Cass?
Bobby.
Good, Cass. Very want you to repeat everything I say. And remember it. You did not attack Pixie.
I did not attack Pixie.
You were nowhere near her.
You've got nothing to be frightened of, Hannah. We're not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Have you any idea why you're here?
Why here?
Do you know why you've been brought to Wentworth?
I'm Juden.
No, Hannah, it's got nothing to do with your being Jewish.
Nein? No?
No. You've been charged with common assault. For hitting that young man. And the immigration department...
He was Nazi. He hurt me. If he knew that I'm Juden.
But hasn't anyone explained to you that you're being deported?
Deported?
It means that you're being sent back home, back to East Germany.
No! No, you cannot do this!
I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do to stop it.
No, you don't know what it's like. No, you cannot do this.
This is no good. I'm only upsetting her. Mrs. Power will take you back to your dormitory. I'm sorry, Hannah.
You don't know what they do to me. You don't know.
I want to see Bryant and Desmond when you've settled it down.
Okay, it could take some time. Come on, come with me. You'll be all right. Just come on.
Hey, no wonder Rev's in a coma. The cops just told me it wasn't cocaine.
What? What was it?
Angel dust.
What?
Hell. God, coke's bad enough, but that stuff is murder.
Yeah, we gave her enough to knock out an elephant.
She might be a bitch, but I'd never intentionally do that to anyone.
What?
Oh, Mrs. Morris, have you heard how Pixie is?
She's all right. So you can get on with your
Yeah, well,
work.
could I go
Don't
and
you
see
interrupt
her?
me, Bryant. No, you can't. Have you finished your work quota yet?
Well, I was just...
No, you haven't. Well, when you get that out of the way, I'll think about it.
Losing your charm?
Sit on it.
Jeez, Mrs. Morris in a rotten mood, isn't she? Wonder what's wrong.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old. Anyway, how are you, love?
Oh, I'm okay, thanks, Jude. Don't know what made me go off before.
Worried about Pixie, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. I reckon it was because I wasn't round to look out for her. I was in the took when it happened.
Yeah, I feel pretty bad about it too. Maybe if I'd have been with her, Pixie'd be all right.
Well, how do we know it wasn't you who done it?
Oh, hang on, Cass.
I like Pixie. I wouldn't hurt her.
Yeah? Well, that's never stopped you in the past, has it? You like Mr. Manning, too, and look what you done to him.
Cass, that's enough.
Well, you think about it. Who found Pixie, eh? And whose cell was Pixie in?
That doesn't prove a thing.
I reckon she's jealous because Pix spends a lot of time chatting to Mr.
Oh,
Manning.
now leave it, Cass, will you? I give up.
Yeah, well, don't. We can't afford to.
Ah, there you are, Meg. I've been looking everywhere for you.
Really?
Yes, I'm in trouble.
What is it?
I've got a free night and nobody will play with me. Have dinner with me.
Is that an order?
Yes, table for two at Romano's. I've already booked.
Marvellous, thank you.
Good. I'll pick you up at 8 on the dot. I'm sorry to hit and run like this, but I'm so far behind you'd never believe it.
You've got to admit that 15% is a fairly pathetic offer.
I agree. All I'm saying is don't be too stubborn. If the department thinks the women are being unreasonable, they won't agree to anything.
Oh, so we just take it easy, right?
How do we know they're not going to walk all over us?
They won't. In fact, the department's a lot less difficult to convince than you might think. I shouldn't say this, so don't quote me, but I believe the department will go to 30%.
I'll believe that when I see it. They promised me back rent on Driscoll House, but that's never come through, has it?
I can understand how you feel, Judy. There's been too much mistrust on both sides, but I think we all ought to work to overcome it.
Okay, we'll give it a go as long as they play straight with us.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Of course, we can't make the decision. We're only here representing the women.
All right, then. Will you put it to them?
Right. If it's okay with them, it's okay with me.
G'day.
Hello.
So, you're the new one, eh?
New one?
They tell me you're a bit of a loner. That right?
I don't understand.
Well, can you tell me your name then, or would you like an easier question?
Name, yeah. I'm Hannah Geldschmidt.
I was der Hannah Goldschmidt, ja.
What is she? Some kind of wog?
She's a kraut, you know. That's right, Ad. You're a kraut.
Square-headed kraut? You? Nazi? Zika, jackboots and all that crap?
Not Nazi. Deutsche, not Nazi.
Okay.
German.
Okay, settle down. So you're just a Hun. We know all about krauts, don't we, Alice?
Yeah, fat, greasy mongrels.
Don't worry, love. You'll be sweet. We know how to look after your kind around here. Don't like that much, do you?
Bitte.
What's wrong? Don't like the brand?
Es tut mir leid.
Talk English, wog.
Geht hinaus! Geht hinaus!
Let's split. That might bring a screw.
Don't want to have all our fun in one go, do we? Don't worry, love. You've got plenty more to come.
So what's happening, Mara? We're still on strike?
Look, if you'll all shut up for a minute, I'll tell you. Oh, thanks for joining us.
We're here now, so you can get on with it.
Yippee.
Okay, now Jude and I have seen the Governor. The word is that if we accept 30%, the department will go along with it.
Oh, why settle for 30 when we want 50?
Yeah, tell them to stick it in their ear.
Think about it before you knock it back.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be doing okay if we accept the 30%, as long as they don't take anything else off us.
You reckon they could do that, Jude?
Well, we got to be practical. If we give them a hard time over this, then they could knock back everything else.
Oh, that doesn't mean we got to let them win.
It's not a case of winning or losing. If we get 30%, we're doing very well.
Hey, Myra.
Yes, love.
30% sounds pretty good, but I reckon if we could get Barnhurst or one of the others to back us up, we got them by the short and curlies.
Yeah, she's got a point. If they're willing to pay 30%, we must have them worried. I reckon we should go for the 50.
Yeah, me too, Mara. It does make sense.
Yeah, okay, but let's hope we don't lose the other concessions.
Well, if we do, we'll go out and strike again, yeah?
Fair enough.
Okay, let's put it to the vote. All those in favour of the 50%.
Yep.
Oh. Well, we go for the lot.
Good one.
I'm sorry to disturb you, Anne. I wanted to see you about tonight.
Oh, John, I'm so snowed under. Would you be terribly upset if I cancelled it?
Oh, well, I suppose not. Something the matter?
Oh, I've had a dreadful day. Well, with Red Keane in hospital, the strike negotiations, police everywhere, and I still have to write up a report on Pixie Mason.
Poor Anne. Couldn't the report wait till tomorrow?
No, I have to get it out of the way.
Well, if you feel you must.
I'm sorry, John. But by the time I got away from you, I'd be awful company. Probably fall asleep on you.
And my ego might never recover.
I'll make it up, promise.
Well, the job comes first, I know that. I was really looking forward to tonight, but I'll be able to enjoy the anticipation a little longer, I suppose. When?
Tomorrow. Promise.
I'll hold you to that. Well, I better leave you, otherwise you'll never finish.
Well, I haven't even had time to talk to you about your work. You're making progress?
Yes, I think it's fair to say that things are going better than I expected. They're perfect patients.
Good. Anyone in particular?
Ah, now that would be telling. Why don't you wait and let me surprise you with actual results?
All right, then. It all sounds very exciting.
Oh, it is. That I can promise you.
Are the cops through yet? Oh, they'd have to be. God, they've had a go at everyone in the block by now. Not that it'll do any good. Wonder how the old Reb's doing. At least she hasn't snuffed it. Yeah, and I bet they're sorry.
You're right, you know. I don't think Reb's going to be too pleasant when she comes back.
We'll have to watch our backs, won't we?
I don't reckon she's coming back.
What would you know?
She's not coming back to my cell. The screws have moved all her stuff out.
You might get lucky. They might stick the new one in with you. The Hun.
Yeah, I wonder why she hasn't been to any meals.
Just as well she hasn't. I wouldn't be eating with no bloody squarehead Jerry.
God, you're a bitch. You know that, Lou.
Oh, even offered her a fag, didn't I, Al?
What's that supposed to mean?
Paid her a little visit, didn't I? Just to make her feel part of the gang.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. No wonder she doesn't want a bar of it. She probably thinks we're all like you.
You better smuggle some food into her.
Suit yourself. You're wasting your time, though. She won't understand a word you say. Typical dumb wog.
Oh, Lou.
Do you want me to speak to you later?
Okay. I can understand someone having a screwed-up childhood and getting a chip on their shoulder, but they should still know right from wrong.
That's just the point. They do, and they choose to do what we call wrong.
All right, if they want to behave like children, treat them like children.
Can't, because that's why they do it, to get attention just like a child.
I've just had word from the hospital, Colleen. Rebecca Keane's out of danger, so she'll be back with us soon.
Oh, well, that's something I'm not looking forward to.
Problems?
Yes, you could say that.
And she has one problem we can do without. As soon as she's back, she's going to be determined to find out who did it to her, and there'll be hell to pay.
Well, couldn't you isolate her?
Oh, yeah. But it hasn't always worked in the past.
I'm thinking of putting Goldschmidt into isolation. She seems to be terrified of the women.
And uniforms.
Yes, well, that's understandable. She was in a concentration camp as a child. This must be hell for her.
Concentration camp?
Tattooed number, the lot. Then spent the rest of her life in East Germany. But she hasn't had much luck. Now they're sending her back.
Why is she being deported?
She came into Australia on a phony West German passport.
But if she's from the Eastern Bloc, why doesn't she claim refugee status?
A bit late for that, I suppose. I doubt whether she's even seen a lawyer.
Possible. I'll look into it. I may as well really upset the department while I'm at it.
I suppose we are right about the East. I mean, does anybody really know what they'll do to her if they get her
I
back?
think we can be reasonably certain. I've read a lot about their interrogation and brainwashing methods. It's not very pleasant. She could be declared an enemy of the state and sent to a labour camp.
What? My God. And her only real crime is not knowing who to speak to when she got here.
Well, we do. I'm going to cut all the corners I can and get straight onto the immigration minister.
Can we come in? It's all right. We're not going to hurt you. We brought you some food.
It's okay.
Danke. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, go on, try it. It's very, bon. It's, oh, that's French, isn't it?
Yes. Merci. Parlez-vous français?
No, parlez-vous, just English, please, okay?
Okay.
Look, we want to help you. So stay with us and we'll show you the ropes.
Ropes?
No ropes. No ropes. Me, and her, we want to help. Understand? Help?
Yeah.
Well, how on earth did you finish up in here?
In here?
Yes, why?
I escaped from from East to West Germany. I have my money. I buy air ticket and passport. No money.
Oh, broke, huh? No.
I have visa, 2 weeks. Come Australia. I must find father's brother. But passport, no good. The police stopped me. The commandant. Here.
Here? The governor?
Yeah, the governor. She said she sent me back to East Germany.
Well, what would happen if she did that?
They will kill me.
It's okay, Hannah. We'll stay with you. Come on.
Yeah, they only look like they bite. Hey, Cass, come over here, meet Hannah.
Oh, yeah, g'day, Hannah.
This is Hannah, Cass.
Yeah, hello.
Finally got the guts up, did you, sauerkraut?
Just ignore her, Hannah. They're not all like that.
Mouth like a sewer.
Yeah, you wait till you meet Pixie. She's real nice.
Yeah, a little cuckoo maybe, but a living doll.
Cuckoo, I not understand. You have Bert here?
No, cuckoo.
I reckon we ought to try and teach Hannah some Aussie lingo, or else when she's serving snakes for lunch, she'll think she's chewing on a log.
You wouldn't be far wrong.
Yeah, now, Hannah, the first thing you've got to learn is what a screw is.
You're right for once, Dumbo. Don't reckon she ever got that lucky.
Will you shut up, Lou? Sick of your rude cracks.
Leave my privates out of this.
Oh, shut up.
Evening, girls.
Oh, hello.
Mr. Manning.
Don't tell me that's gone again.
Oh, yeah, it won't stop rolling, Mr. Manning.
I'll have to fix it tomorrow.
Oh, well, I'll give you a hand. You want to fix it now?
No, I've got to go.
Got a date, Mr. Manning?
Ooh.
No, not exactly, no.
Oh, you go out and have a good time, Mr. Manning.
Thanks, I will.
Bye-bye.
See you all tomorrow.
Take her a bunch of celery. They reckon that does the trick every time.
Celery?
She reckons it gives you the hops.
I not understand.
Just ignore Lou. She's trying to be smart.
I mean, officer, you speak so friendly to him.
Oh, well, he's a nice guy.
No, it's different where I come from.
Well, here, you just got to keep your nose clean, your head down, and no worries.
Yeah, what she means is you just keep your head down, work a lot, and everything will be okay.
Okay, I know that.
Okay.
There is one thing we ought to teach her. Do you know what the Lou is?
Yes, I speak a little French.
Well, thank God for that.
Stop fussing, Pop. And remember, none of your old tricks. The guy's coming to eat with us, not propose.
All right, all right.
But he likes you.
And I like him. That doesn't mean that either of us want to spend the next 50 years together.
Why don't you get a couple of beers? You'll want one even if he doesn't. Right on the knock.
G'day.
Come in.
I didn't know whether to get red or white. I hope this is all right.
Oh, that's terrific. Pop's just getting a drink.
Hello, Rick. Like a beer?
Yeah, love one, George. Thanks.
I thought you were going to get it.
Well, you don't let beer stand around. It gets hot.
Look, I know Pop pressured you into this visit. He means well. He's just not very subtle, that's all.
No, I've been looking forward to it.
Oh, and so is he. But he's going to try and leave us alone at every opportunity. You wouldn't believe some of the excuses he's used on other occasions. So, my advice to you is to relax, enjoy your meal, and don't feel obliged to stay late, okay?
Certainly call a spade, didn't you?
I also cook a very good meal, so your evening won't be a total write-off. Now, why don't you sit down, and I'll see how far Pop's got with the beers.
Right.
Look, if you're a bit nervous about being here on your own, I'll talk to the governor tomorrow and see if she can move you in with someone else. Bit late now, though. It's nearly lock-up.
They lock door?
Yes, love.
Come on, Desmond. Visiting hours are over.
I'll see you in the morning. I'll, take you to the loo.
Should be ready for bed. Be lights out soon.
You lock the door?
Yeah? Why, what's the matter?
The door, you must not close. You must not lock.
Well, Goldschmidt, it's standard procedure. All prisoners are locked in at night.
No, please.
Well, now, look, if anything's wrong, if you're ill or anything like that, you just call and an officer will come. You understand?
No,
now,
no,
Goldschmidt,
no.
Goldschmidt, pull yourself together.
No,
now, listen.
I cannot be here. You not understand.
Right. Now, no one likes to be locked up. But you should have thought of that before you got yourself put in here. Now, come on, you get ready for bed.
No, please. You must not.
Look, no one is going to hurt you. In fact, you're a lot safer locked in your cell than roaming around this place. Now, you get ready for bed. You better be quick about it, otherwise you'll be undressing in the dark. Okay?
Bobby's not your friend, Cass. We know that. But Bobby is smart. You'll have to trick her to beat her, Cass. But no one must know what you're doing, or Bobby will win. Cass, you must kill Bobby before Bobby kills you. It's the only way.
I'm an absolute sucker for old movies. When they played those sci-fi ones, I didn't miss one.
Well, me neither.
You can have them.
Oh, don't mind Pop. I talked him into watching a Boris Karloff movie the other night, and he fell asleep just before the opening credits were over.
Well, give me a good spy thriller in the old time.
One thing we have got in common, though, is the Beatles.
Ah, now there's talent.
Yeah, it's a pity they broke up.
Oh, in a way. But they were right at the top. There was nowhere else for them to go, really.
Well, I don't know the answer to that one, so why don't I do the washing up while you two figure it out, eh?
No, you don't. We can't afford the breakages. Why don't you get out the cards? I'll do the washing up.
Want a hand?
That's a good idea. Look, I'll turn on the telly, eh?
No, I'll be much quicker on my own. And it was you who asked Rick to dinner, remember? Oh, if he suggests playing for money, say no. He cheats.
Goldschmidt! Come on.
What's going on here?
God, she's having a nightmare.
She burned! See?
What? Burn? There's no... But what's she on about?
I don't know.
There's no burn? You look. Look. There's no burn. Your hand is fine. It's all right.
She burned with her cigarette.
No. You've had a bad dream, that's all. Look, there's no burn.
Look, we might just get her a sedative. She can see the doctor in the morning.
No, doctor. No. I not want doctor. No.
Stop it. Calm down.
You go. I sleep.
Okay. Miss Ferguson will check on you later. All right?
Well, I'm sure we don't need anything more to eat after that delicious meal, but if you'd like another cup of coffee back at my place.
I'm not sure I should do that.
Oh, if you're worried about disturbing Colleen, she's on night shift.
I'm more worried about myself.
I'm not quite sure how to take that.
I find you very attractive. And, I'm not sure if I could settle for just a cup of coffee.
Well, we did say we didn't want to complicate things. At work.
I think we should discuss that a little further, don't you?
Over a coffee?
Over a coffee.
Talked into 5 games of cricket.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it. Enjoyed the whole night. Your old man's right, too. You're a good cook.
Oh.
I'd like to repay the hospitality.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
No, I don't have to. I'd like to. But not cooking. I wouldn't inflict that on my worst enemy. How about a movie or something?
Which one?
Well, I saw there's a really dreadful sci-fi horror thing at the local flea pit.
Sounds great.
Right, well, I'll check the rosters and give you a call.
Good.
Had a good night.
Thanks for coming.
Morning.
Morning.
Easy night?
Oh, well, no rights. How was the dinner date?
Very nice, thanks.
Is that it? That's all you're going to tell me?
Well, let's just say I'm glad you were on night shift.
Well, perhaps I'd better pack my bags. He would be a much more interesting roommate.
Colleen, for heaven's sake, we hardly know each other. Anyway, I only mean...
It's all right. I will put myself down for some more night shifts.
I wonder what was keeping you. But don't worry, Joyce Barry is covering for you. However, when you can tear yourself away, I would look in on Goldschmidt. We just had another incident in the shower.
Is she all right?
As well as a total neurotic can be.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Joan, the poor woman's facing deportation back to East Germany. Even you surely can understand how frightened she must be.
Well, you're full of surprises lately, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that you have been blowing a little hot and cold lately. I'm sure the prisoners are as confused as I am.
What a peculiar thing to say.
Well, in the last week or two, you have been pretty strict with the women.
What?
Even I've been surprised at some of the penalties you've dealt out.
Oh, I don't think I've heavied anyone who didn't deserve it. Anyway, I must go and relieve Joyce. See you later.
Here you go, Bobby. I'll fix it for you.
Thanks.
You know, I reckon if I ever get out of here, I'd like to open a repair shop. Hey, we could be partners. I reckon you'd pick up mechanics real quick. What do you say?
Oh, well, I thought you'd gone right off me. You've really been picking on me lately.
Oh, well, I didn't mean nothing. We're mates. Same as always, right?
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
What do you make of that? I mean, yesterday she's sure that Bobby tried to knock off Pixie. Today they're the best of friends.
Well, she's just figured out what we all figured out. Bobby couldn't possibly have done it.
You know what I've been thinking? What if it was meant for Bobby? It was Bobby's dorm. I mean, maybe Pixie just went in there at the wrong time.
Makes sense in theory. But who the hell would mistake Pixie for Bobby?
Yeah, you got a point, I guess.
Don't worry, we'll get the bitch.
Morning, ladies. Mara, Judy, Governor wants to see you.
Cass, could you take over the press, love?
Oh, yeah, sure, Mara. Hey, I reckon I figured out who had a go at Pix.
You're kidding, who?
Yeah. Well, I've got to check something out first. Do you want to help?
Sure.
Okay, meet me in the shower block before lunch.
Oh, you're on.
I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear I have been authorised to make a firm offer on your pay increase. A 30% rise retrospective to the beginning of the strike, and of course they agree to the work scheme and open days.
It's a very generous offer, Mrs. Davidson, but I'm afraid the women won't accept anything less than 50%.
And they're being very foolish.
Yeah, but we're only representing the women. We have to go with their overall vote.
I must say I'm rather surprised. I was given to understand that you would be very amenable to the department's offer.
Oh, you were you? It seems the women made the right decision after all.
I only talked to you off the record because I was hoping you'd get the women to understand that they jeopardize other opportunities if they push too hard for the money.
It doesn't alter the fact, Mrs. Reynolds, that we were primed to accept the department's proposal. Now, I don't think that's good enough.
It sure as hell isn't. And as far as I'm concerned, the answer is no, and these negotiations are over.
You're being very short-sighted, Myra. Now let us all calm down and talk this through again.
There is nothing more to talk about, Mrs. Davidson. We want 50%, and unless we get it, the strike is back on.
Yeah, and the department had better do some pretty fast thinking, too, because otherwise the prisoners will be out on strike in every detention centre in this state.
I'd like to report back to the women with the governor's permission.
Yes, of course. Take them back, please, Mrs. Radcliffe.
The department is not going to like this one little bit.
For which I believe you can take full credit, Mrs. Davidson.
You mean it was a setup?
Yeah, and we were supposed to jump at the offer.
Rotten pigs. Bet you they wouldn't pay anything if they could get away with it.
Well, what are we going to do now?
We stop work. We're back on strike. Cass, would you go get word to the others?
Sure, Myra. See you later, eh?
Oh, no worries.
I reckon we should have stuck with the 30% while the going was good.
You were one of the ones that wanted the 50%, remember?
Yes, and you better stick with us or else.
Look, I'm not backing down. It's just that the others were already grizzling about losing pay, and now they're going to lose more.
Well, tell them if they back down now, they're going to lose out all round. I'm going for 50% and all the other benefits. And if they don't like it, they can come and see me.
According to Rachel, her old man will be out ordering the wedding cast. I think I'll chance it. She's a nice lady. Fantastic cook.
Oh, doesn't sound like she needs her dad to promote her.
No, she doesn't. Well, I better get to it.
Right.
Morning, Governor.
Morning, Rick. The department's finally bowed to the inevitable.
Well, that's a relief. Pity they let it get as far as they did.
I think their pocket was the main consideration. Also, they'll have enough on their plates now with the Geldschmidt deportation problem. Anyway, whatever made them change their minds, this is one announcement I'm going to enjoy making. Attention, please. All prisoners are to remain in their work areas after the morning end of work bell. Mrs. Davidson will be coming to address each section about the strike issue. That's all, thank you, ladies.
But if they won't believe you, Jude, well, what is Mrs. Davidson going to talk about?
She'll probably tell us what naughty girls we are and cut our buy-up for the next 6 months.
Well, they can't stick us all in the pan. It'll be standing room only.
Well, I'll listen as long as they don't try and soft soap us again.
Oh, Mrs. Reynolds wouldn't do that. I'm sure there was some sort of mistake.
Yeah, it certainly was on their part.
Hey, Pix. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm okay. It was a bit scary for a while, though.
Some of the others reckon that I did it, but you know I didn't.
Of course not. But you were in my cell, remember? Has Cass said anything about it?
She was a bit strange at first, and she thought I did it too.
Well, is she still staying there?
Everything's apples now. Cass reckons she's got it figured out. I'm nicking out now to talk to her. When we've worked it out, we'll tell Judy and Mara.
Oh, but you can't do that because, well, Mrs. Davidson's coming to talk to us.
Just tell them I've gone to the
But
loo.
Bobby, you can't.
Oh, sorry.
Where are you going, Mitchell? You were told to stay in your work area.
Oh, I'm just going to the toot, Mrs. M. I won't be a tick. It's real urgent.
All right, we'll come straight back.
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds.
Right, let's get this over. Good afternoon, ladies.
Mrs. Davidson.
I know this is your recreation time, so I shall come straight to the point. I've spoken to the department, and they have asked me to put forward their new offer. First of all, they have agreed to the extra work activities, and naturally you will retain any profit from such work.
Pay attention, Aunt.
The monthly open day has also been approved to give you extra contact with your families, which you requested.
Oh, how wonderful. I wonder if I could invite Mr. Schumann, Mrs. Reynolds. I mean, he did say he looked on me as a daughter.
We'll discuss personal requests later, Mason.
And finally, you will receive a pay rise of 50%. Ladies, Mrs. Reynolds has campaigned very strongly on your behalf, and I expect you to repay her efforts with your full support and loyalty.
And you've got no worries about that, Mrs. Davidson.
Thanks, Mrs. Reynolds.
Thank you, ladies. I'll leave you to it.
Right, ladies, everyone can move out. Yes, it is.
Cass?
Geez, what took you so long?
Sorry, had to dodge a couple of screws. Well, hurry up. I told Mrs. Reynolds I'd only be a tick.
Where's the gov now?
Oh, it's all right. She's in the laundry with Mrs. Davidson. They're talking about the strike. So come on, what'd you find out about Pixie? Do you reckon it was Francis or one of that lot?
Oh, I know who done it, Bobby. I know how to make sure it doesn't happen anymore.
Well, what I can't get over with is how quickly they changed their tune.
Oh, wouldn't need Einstein to work out that the strike had cost him a hell of a lot more than bringing our pay up to scratch.
Bloody typical, though, trying to hold out on
Yeah.
We certainly, eh?
Let's hope they don't find an excuse to take away what little we've gained.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.